This is Joy, the Journey of You podcast. We're your hosts, Devin,
Chris,
and Felicia.
And we're here for joy.
This podcast is your permission slip to reconnect to your inherent joy and to embrace it.
Let's fill up the cosmic joy pot together as we dive into today's episode.
Welcome back to the Journey of You podcast. It's just me today, just Devin, for a awesome, super packed solo episode. Today's theme is resonance, my friend. Resonance. And here's the truth. You have a unique soul resonance. What do I mean by resonance? Resonance is vibration. Vibration is inherent throughout the universe. Everything in the universe has a vibration, whether it be a desk has a vibration, the sun has a vibration, a bird has a vibration, people have their vibrations. I talk a lot about, when you meet somebody, you get a vibe off of someone. That's a person's vibration. That's a person's resonance. So when we align ourselves with our innate, inherent resonance, we experience peace and centeredness, fulfillment. When you align with your own innate resonance, you experience peace, centeredness, and wholeness. Period. That's the truth. And then the other side of the coin is that if you're misaligned or even void of your own resonance, then you're at the mercy of all the other vibrations and the world around you. So, right, in one world, you're very soundly in your own field, in your own vibration, in your own resonance, walking through the world, clear on who you are, clear on where you end, where you begin, and other people end and begin. So you're very centered, you're very peace, you're very able to navigate the world in a moment's notice. Whereas in the other version of life is that you have no awareness of your own resonance, or it's a shitty awareness of your own resonance. So you're very much at the mercy of the moment and what happens and just what's there and what's kicking you around, right? So we have much more of a reactive response versus a resonant response, a truthful response, right? A very profound depth kind of way to respond that has resonance to it, right? So the reason why this came up is because this comes up a lot. I actually even have a course called Return to Resonance, which you can join the waitlist on my website if you're interested. But the reason why I talk about this is because it's such a core principle of knowing ourselves, is knowing our own resonance, and from a vibrational standpoint. So just today I had an in-person session with a client who, this woman thought she had a pretty good sense of herself. But it ended up, she realized it was more of a mental sense of herself because she wasn't actually in her own vibration. She was still carrying the vibration of one of her parents and one of her parents' beliefs. And this is a prime example of when we have lost or kind of abandoned our own resonance. And I think a lot of us actually have. It's when we were kids, we had a particular strategy that we developed to be able to get energy and get love from our parents. And so what we did is we kind of let go of our own resonance in favor of figuring out what our parents' resonance is and trying to appease them, because they were our caregivers. They were our where our food and our sustenance came from. So, right, if you don't have parents and you were adopted or something, it's going to be whoever that caregiver is. We're basically attuning to them, becoming resonant to their vibrations. And so this is how a lot of us can be really attuned to other people, can really be aware of what other people are experiencing and be hypersensitive to that, and then not actually be aware of what we are experiencing internally. Because in many ways you've lost yourself. So this particular client had lost herself. She had basically abandoned her own resonance. And then every session that she comes to me, she finds and she experiences her own resonance more. And then she becomes more fortified in her own resonance. She knows herself more. She can speak with more clarity and conviction from a place of profound resonance. And not the compensation, what she would do in the past is get really forceful and get really mean in the way that she would talk to try to get her point across, because she had this perception of like, it's not getting across. It's, I'm not meeting people, right? My vibration can't, it's like her perception before was like, my vibration's not resonant enough to get through to other people. So that's what she would experience. But when she's truly in her resonance, She can very clearly state what needs to be said, and it easily comes across. And she's doing that from a very grounded place, right? And I have personally felt that in myself too, that when I'm truly coming from my resonance, my tone of voice is different, the way I convey messages is different, the way I share stories is different. When I'm in my resonance, there's a very distinct tone that I feel, and it feels very harmonizing in my nervous system. And even as I talk to you right now, I feel very much in my resonance. And when I'm not in my resonance, I get high pitched and I get a little compensatory energetically, and you can even hear it in my voice right now, right? And so this is where we may think that we're resonant, but it's subtle in these ways that we're resonant or not. And if you know anything about me, is I'm going to bring you into these subtle layers because you're beyond some of the basics. You're beyond the basics of knowing knowing that a larger part of you exists, and now it's like we're here to apply, right? So let's apply, my friends. We're gonna head into a little demonstration. So if you're able to close your eyes, I invite you to close your eyes. If you're driving, please keep eyes open and stay safe, and imagine that you're able to do this with eyes open on the road. So I'd like you to imagine that you are not aware of your resonance. You're just living in the sea of vibration in the world, in the big old soup of vibration that's out there. Yep, notice how chaotic it is. Notice what it'd be like to be in the grocery store, to be in traffic, to be at the movie theater, to be making decisions, to be out for dinner. Noticing all those vibrations all around you. Notice how you feel in your nervous system, how you react, what you do. Notice your level of centeredness and stableness in yourself, or lack thereof. Beautiful. Got a good sense of that? Okay. Now, imagine you draw a circle in front of you. That circle is you and your resonant field. It's you in your resonance. You step inside of that circle. Now you're in your resonance. This is you. This is your vibration. I first invite you to feel your own vibration, feel your own resonance. And then now imagine moving through the world in your own resonance. Once again, you're walking in the grocery store, you're driving in traffic, you're going to a movie, you're hiking. Whatever it is you're doing the things that you do as a human, but now you're in your resonance. What do you experience then? What do you experience now in your own resonance? How do you experience yourself when you're in your own resonance? And you know what? While we're here, I'd like for you to just go ahead and choose for yourself. Do you want to continue to experience your own resonance? Or are you okay living in that sea and soup of other people's resonance and the vibrations in the world? And go ahead and just make that choice of which you would prefer. I personally am going to choose my own resonance. And then allow yourself to experience the vibration of whatever you chose. And then write it down for yourself. Just make a few notes of what it's like for you when you're in your resonance. For me, when I went through this exercise today, when I'm lost in the sea of vibration of the world, I feel very erratic, much more anxious energy. I feel very unsettled. I feel very uncertain in myself, what to do. And I'm basically attuned outside of myself. I'm very aware of the environment. Like in that restaurant scenario, I just hear every dish in the entire restaurant clinging, and I hear all the sounds and all of the distractions and annoyances. And it's like I'm just hyper stimulated, honestly. And then when I go into my own unique resonance and I'm in my resonance circle, it's just like everything else is hollowed out. It's just like it's in many ways like everything else fades to the background, right? Like I'm in the forefront of what I'm aware of and from a very functional place of groundedness and steadiness. And so I'm able to make decisions from a grounded place. I'm able to speak with more conviction from a very steady, stable place. And not be distracted by all the other noises and vibrations in the world. And so it feels much better for me there. So I am choosing my resonance. I'm choosing my resonance. What are you choosing? What are you choosing? And if you're not ready to choose, what do you intend to choose? The invitation here is for you to intend to either discover your own resonance and to live out of your own resonance. And if you need help in doing that, it's my specialty. So reach out to me if you want to explore this more. But otherwise, allow this intention just to discover and live out of your own resonance to be in the forefront of your awareness right now. And then share with us and let us know what happens in your life day to day. Like when you're in the grocery store, when you're at a a resident restaurant, go to your favorite restaurant and try it out. Try it out. Intend to experience the restaurant from a state of just being in the sea of the whole restaurant. And then intent in the next moment, you do that for a few minutes and then intend, okay, for the next 3 minutes, I'm going to experience me being in my resonance while in this restaurant and give it a go. So you can apply this real time in little micro scenarios, or you can apply this as a whole right now when you look into the bigger picture of things. It's your choice. It's your life. What you do with it is yours, but we're always here to bring you more joy and to guide you on the path to living this joy-filled life. So here's to you. Here's to more joy, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.